Good morning, everybody. Kevin Cage back with another quick video update on Ripple XRP. So let's get into the news. So we got shared by XRPist. And we have this. This was earlier this year in 2019, but this is very important. I want to show the partnerships that Ripple, the company, is doing on a daily basis. And this actually involves XRP, the digital asset, directly. So a $50 billion banking giant launches international payments with Ripple's XRP. So let's scroll down here. By CCN, Financial Sector Conference back in April, Saudi British Bank, SABB, I'm just going to call it SAB for this video, announced that the launch of its cross-border transfer service, a payments infrastructure based on the Ripple blockchain network that utilizes crypto asset XRP for liquidity. With nearly $50 billion in assets, SAB initially joined the Ripple network in January of 2018 with the support of the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority to use emerging technology in the blockchain to process payments. Now, this video, just a quick summary. This gentleman is from Ripple, and he's just speaking about regulations overall, and he's basically emphasizing the narrative is now changing as regulations come. Basically, last year, they saw blockchain as being helpful. They saw cryptocurrency as just kind of being a bubble, not really having any use cases. However, it's swaying right now. The pendulum is swinging, and we're seeing more and more regulators and policymakers that are treating cryptocurrencies or digital assets, I use those terms interchangeably, and the blockchain is becoming one and the same now in explaining that digital assets do have their use case in terms of improving financial inclusion. And Ripple, of course, wants to aim to utilize XRP to leverage the power of digital assets for RTP, real-time payments, and utilizing XRP for their liquidity needs. Now, he goes on to explain, he does not believe XRP is a security whatsoever. We have Thailand and many other countries throughout Asia classifying XRP as a digital asset, not a security. Many other countries are also following, and they're either classifying XRP as a digital asset, a cryptocurrency, or a commodity, and he believes the rest of the countries will follow shortly after. Now, the XRP ledger is open sourced entirely. Anybody can use it. Even if the company Ripple disappears tomorrow, XRP uses a consensus-based mechanism that needs validators. Now, it's an open sourced software that anyone can download, and Ripple only owns about 10 of these validators, and I believe at this time there's roughly 150 validators. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but he goes on to say that that's Ripple, the company, only owns roughly 7% of all of these validators. And that's what we're going to see. We're going to see a level playing field. And in my opinion, this is much more decentralized than Bitcoin if you look at all of the mining that's taking place in China. So, of course, David Schwartz, CTO of Ripple, is very smart in creating proof of consensus, proof of correctness, has a few names, and this consensus mechanism is far superior. Now, as we scroll down here, really quick, this was shared by Stephen Diep, and this is Corey Johnson speaking on behalf of Ripple last year, and I want to talk about this. So Ripple's meant to replace Swift, okay? It's meant to be a digital way to move value, and all of Ripple's customers are using both Ripple and Swift, and these are the main points that Corey goes on to make. Now, he says also the Ripple, the company, they want to replace the messaging system that Swift uses, ACH, to settle transactions. Ripple can actually replace all of that with its software. Now, you might look at a digital asset like Ethereum, and it can do a lot of things. So why not move value like XRP? Well, it can, but it's too slow to complete transactions because it's trying to do too much. We already have so many capabilities with Ethereum. There's smart contracts, so many dApps being built upon it, etc. Now, XRP is literally built to move value, period. That's why it's the fastest by far, most secure, most scalable. It's most decentralized. I mean, there's just many, many reasons behind that. And that's why I think Ripple's poised to compete like this. You do not see other people, other organizations that are trying to grow their blockchain speaking at these summits, these conferences, getting this type of news coverage. And Ripple, they're professionals. They're working alongside these regulators and policymakers. And so I think this is probably one of the biggest investment opportunities in the century. A lot of people are losing faith. I'm going to be here to stay for years to come. So hopefully that video update was sufficient. I want to keep this brief. This is a good article. Again, we get the gist. Ripple's constantly building and building their platforms. I don't want to repeat a lot of things I've already covered. So Be sure to hit that like button, guys. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.